Okay, it's showtime. So new time of day, new outfit. I decided not to wear my usual black on black today. I'm actually in my, I'll show you. I'm in my Hey Ho, Let's Go Colorado Trek shirt that we designed for the Colorado River Trek I just got back from on Monday night. For those of you that have been following my journeys. But hey, so we're here. It's a little bit later in the day than we normally do these. We thought changing things up a bit might be interesting, so that's what we're doing. And in sticking with that theme, I'm changing up my outfit. So today we are going to do a training on your LinkedIn profile. So if that's of interest to you, you're in the right spot. Before we get into that training, though, I want to introduce my co-host, Ronan Rahman. There ya.
Howdy, Brian.
Howdy, Ronan. I'm great.
So you're not Johnny Cash in it today, huh?
I'm not. I decided to, it's a new time of day for us, so why not throw caution into the wind? So
you're such a daredevil.
I know.
Today is 3-point power profile.
Awesome.
Which is a magical conversation. So I'm going to scoot out of here, but I do want to remind everybody that we are live. So leave comments, leave questions. Even if you're watching the recording, we will circle back and answer any question that you have. So feel free. And with that, I'm going to leave it to you, Brian.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're going to go over the 3-point power profile. These are the 3 most important aspects that you really need to have dialed in, if nothing else. There's a lot of other parts of your profile that should be dialed in, but if nothing else, the 3 that we're going to go over today are the most impactful, the most valuable, are going to create that best first impression of you for the people that you want to connect with on LinkedIn, especially. So I'm going to go over those 3 today. Let's do it. And Ronan, if you could pull up my screen. Here we go. Let me hit the full screen mode here. And while I'm at it, put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay. So here we go. LinkedIn 3-point power profile. What I'm going to do to demonstrate this is really show you a few different LinkedIn profiles that we have worked on. And I'm going to point out the elements that are of value for this for you. And then you can take this and incorporate it into your own profiles as well. And what we are sharing here not only will work for LinkedIn, it will work for your other social media profiles as well. We happen to do a lot of business on LinkedIn, and that's why we're diving into that. So let's take a look at Dana's profile and the 3 parts of it that are way above the fold, right? Meaning you're going to see these whether you're on a desktop computer, mobile device, pretty much in all formats. Include your profile photo. That's the image of you in a circle. Your cover image, which is the large rectangular image on the top, and your headline, which in this case is right below your name. Okay. Those are the 3 areas that, number 1, you should customize. And number 2, there are some specific tips I'm going to give you now on how to do that properly. So let's start with the profile photo of you. The best approach, and we say this every week, is to have a professional photographer make that photo for you. And when you do that, just let them know you're using this for social media, specifically your social media profile photo, and they will know what to do. They have it dialed in at this point. They've been doing these for years. And you'll spend anywhere from $100 to maybe $200 or $300, depending on who you hire and what kinds of packages that they provide you for making that happen for you. That being said, if you want to use a photograph that someone else makes of you that's not a professional, here's what you want to make sure is included or not included, as the case may be, in your photo. So number 1 is you want to not include anything distracting in the background. In fact, you want to have a plain background. White, dark, it could be a white background, it could be a dark background. It doesn't really matter much as long as it is non-distracting. There's nothing in it that is going to prevent someone from just looking at you in your face. So in this case, Dana's chosen a charcoal gray background. It works perfectly. What you want to avoid are having things like other people in the background. We've seen that happen. You don't want to have something that looks interesting, okay? Because that's not the point of the photo. The interesting part of the photo is you. So avoid taking pictures in front of bookcases or plants, landscapes, and things like that. You don't want that stuff distracting. If you do that, make sure it's completely blurred out. I may show you an example of something like that here in a moment. But that's really important. Number two is you want it to be an up close crop, if you will, of your face. Maybe you can show a little shoulder, but you really want people to be able to see you, because this photograph oftentimes shows up really small, especially on a mobile device. And if you have like a full body shot or even a half body shot, we're not going to be able to see your face. And that's the whole point of this photo, is to make that kind of facial connection. Speaking of your face, make sure you have a pleasant, inviting facial expression, usually some kind of a smile. And that is important. You want people, when they look at you, to feel as if you're someone that is going to be friendly and someone that's going to be kind and someone that they want to talk to. So make sure you have a really inviting facial expression. And I say that it's not always easy to do in a picture, right? Because there's no other senses. It's just a static image of you. So make a lot of different photographs and even run them by other people and ask them for their opinion. Which one looks, makes me look the best and makes me look the most inviting. And that's kind of what, and also well lit. We see a lot of photographs where it's like half of the face is kind of darkened because of the way the lighting was, or it's darkened on the top or something like that. You want it really well lit. You can see here in Dana's photograph, there's no real dark spots. We can totally see her face, and it's a wonderful photograph of her. So that's kind of it for the profile photo. Let's talk about the cover image. That's that big image on the top, that rectangular image. Things you want to include are things like possibly your logo. As you can see, Dana has her logo here. Possibly a tagline, short, something that is in a few words or less. In this case, she has real relatable results, something she uses throughout her marketing materials, on her website, in her email signatures and things like that. So that works very well here. And you want to, if you're going to do any kind of words on your cover image, make them big. Because again, I might be looking at this from a mobile phone and I won't be able to see it very well if it's not large. And really, really short. Don't put a whole paragraph of content on your cover image. No one's going to read it, and it just doesn't look well anyway. And then the other thing that we like to encourage clients to do is put something in there that's personal to you, that others can relate to. So in this case, Dana has a young child. I think he's about 8 or 9 years old. And so she is always talking about him on social media and posting things about what they do. And so this image here sort of represents her in a lot of ways and connects her with her ideal client, who may also have similar values, if you will. So that's something you can do, and make it just a little bit more personal, because people want to get to know who you are and what makes you tick. I'm going to show you some other examples where they're not showing a personal thing in there, but is equally effective. So those are some tips on your cover image, and some things what to do and some things specifically not to do. In particular, don't put a lot of words on it. Okay, now let's go to your headline. On Monday, we went into great depth, or Tuesday, I should say, because I got back from the river on Monday. So on Tuesday, we went into some depth about how to craft a good headline using our market to message match formula. If you're interested in learning about that, you can go back and look at our timeline for Tuesday. I think we did that at 9:30 in the morning, and get that training. But your headline's what, in this case, is below your name. Dana's reads, "Get your weekends and evenings back while building a wildly successful accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, or law firm." You want to customize that. LinkedIn defaults it to your basically your job title, and your position in the company. So it'd be like, office manager at such and such company. And that doesn't tell us anything about you. And so and it doesn't say anything about who you want to connect with. And so you really want to tailor that headline. And if you want a good formula and a process for doing so, watch the training we did on Tuesday of this week, where we go into great depth. But you really want to make sure that is customized, because here's what happens when you make a connection request, or you message somebody, or you post anything on LinkedIn. What's going to be seen by everyone that reads that is your photograph, your cover image photograph. That's why it's one of the 3 parts of the power profile. They're going to see your name, and they're going to see your headline. And so because it's so present in so many different areas of LinkedIn, that's a very important aspect of it. And the reason that the cover image is important is because if they choose to click and see your LinkedIn profile, that's the first thing they're going to see. It's right on the top. So there are a lot of other aspects of the profile. If you're interested in learning about how to address those things, like your summary section and your work experience section and reviews and things like that, we are hosting a deeper dive training called Guaranteed Sales Appointments on August 20th. We will be hosting it here live in Las Vegas, as well as streaming it live. And if you want information about that, just fill out the form at guaranteedappointmentslive.com. It's just a simple put in your name and email and mailing address, and we'll send you the information about how to get involved in that. All right, let's move on to another profile. I'm going to show you Sergio's. So Sergio's a totally different business. Once again, if you look at his cover, his profile photograph, it was done by a professional. He kind of has this blurred out background, which is great. It works well here. We don't really know what's in the background. It's not distracting us from looking at his face. He's got a very inviting facial expression. It's well lit. It's really well done. So that's another different, kind of a little bit of a different style than what Dana used, but equally as effective. And for his cover image, there's no wording or logos or anything like that, which is fine. He's just showing kind of a behind the scenes look at what it might be like to work with him, right? So you can see the back of him working with what is presumably a client, showing some graphs and charts and things like that, some results, if you will, from what he's doing for them. And that is very effective here for him, because what he does is he does Google advertising. And so that kind of gives you almost like an over the shoulder kind of look behind the scenes as to working with Sergio. So we like it. It's very effective, and it does the job perfectly well for him. And again, he's got to tailor a customized headline. Of course, he's a client of ours, so of course he does. It's just well done. The third profile I'm going to show you is Ronan's, my co-host and partner, and his, again, profile image. I'm not going to go into great detail. I've already covered that a lot. It was made by a professional, so it's obviously very good. In his case, other than the logo, there's really no words on the cover image, which is fine. And he's very sophisticated. So he's just got someone writing with a fountain pen, those are those things that they used to use back in like 200 years ago. But anyway, I digress. But it's very sophisticated to use one now. That works for Ronan. And again, a customized headline below his name. So I might show you one more just to give you a flavor of like what are the possibilities. Here's Shannon Graham. He doesn't really he has kind of a smile on his profile cover, on his profile photo, not really much of a smile inside of the cover image. He works with very high-end investors and entrepreneurs, very serious people, very type A entrepreneurs, if you will. And so that facial expression works very well for him. And even the lighting on his face, which is a little bit, I said, make sure it's well lit and not to have dark spots. In this case, he's got on both of his photos, it's kind of shaded here. That kind of works for him and what his brand stands for. So, these aren't hard and fast like rules or laws. You have to incorporate, what's your brand stand for in some of what I'm suggesting here. And in this case, this really works well for Shannon. That's why I wanted to show you this example as well. And again, a few words on his cover image. They were great. Transformational coaching for visionary leaders, and then his logo. And obviously, once again, a customized, tailored headline. So those are 4 very different examples of how this can work and come together, and just give you some ideas on what you might want to consider for your cover images and your LinkedIn profile. And once again, if you want to join us on the 20th of August for our deep dive event, please sign up at that form that Ronan's probably showing you right now. I'm going to jump out of here, come back to, there we go.
Hey, Brian.
Video. And hi, how are you?
Hey. Yeah, I think as I think about it, the banner image at the top, the big thing there for me, what I got out of this training was that it just really is conveying kind of like a feeling and a mood, rather than just delivering a bunch of content and a bunch of words.
Got it.
Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, it's sometimes in business we think, oh, it has to be so serious and so, where am I? There I am. And so business-like, and that's true. And at the same time, it's okay to be a little personal as well, right? Because at the end of the day, we've probably all heard the same phrase: we do business with people we know, like, and trust, and because it's personal, right? I mean, it's very personal, in fact. So don't be afraid to show a little bit of personality, especially in that cover image, where you have that space to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I love fountain pens. But here's the thing: writing is a lost art, I think. And also, if you notice, they're filling in an appointment book. So
see, that's a nice subtle touch, because you guarantee sales appointments.
Exactly.
I like it.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about tomorrow?
I think tomorrow we're going to go into messaging, because that really is a key component in an area where people get stuck. So we're going to talk about messaging tomorrow. We might do a 2-for-1. So I'm thinking about doing messaging in the morning and Sales Navigator in the afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. But we're definitely going to be doing messaging in the morning tomorrow.
Fabulous. All right. See everybody tomorrow, and we'll be live again, and we'll have some fun.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ron.